Every day, somewhere in the world, candles are lit, wishes are whispered, and families gather around birthday cakes. Birthdays are meant to be joyful, a time of laughter, gifts, and love. But for one family, what began as a celebration became the start of a nightmare. On her 16th birthday, Sam received a gift many teenagers dream of, her very first smartphone. To her parents, it was more than just a present. It was a symbol of trust, a tool for learning, a bridge to her friends. Wrapped in their love, it felt like freedom. What none of them knew was that the same gift would open a door to a digital world filled not only with connection and opportunity, but also with shadows. And through that door, someone was already waiting. This is Sam's story. The story of how one ordinary birthday turned into a lesson she and her family would never forget. There once lived a wealthy couple, Mr. and Mrs. Coker, whose lives seemed perfect from the outside. They had a beautiful home, traveled the world, and lacked nothing except the one thing their hearts longed for, a child of their own. Month after month, Stacy, Mrs. Coker, carried the weight of disappointment. Each time her menstrual cycle came, it was a painful reminder of dreams unfulfilled. Her sadness grew heavier with every passing year. Her husband, Mr. Coker, tried in every way he knew to ease her pain. He showered her with gifts, whisked her away on vacations, and spoke words of comfort. But Stacy's longing for a child was deeper than luxury could ever reach. In their African community, the pressure was unrelenting. A woman without children was often seen as incomplete, and Stacy bore the brunt of cruel words from her mother-in-law, words that cut her soul and pushed her toward depression. Yet through it all, her husband defended her fiercely, shielding her from insults and standing by her side. But beneath his calm exterior, Mr. Coker carried his own pain. The strain on their marriage began to show. He worked late, sought solace in alcohol, and hid his struggles behind a mask of strength. He wanted to be the loving husband Stacy deserved, but inside he was breaking. Then, on a business trip far from home, temptation crossed his path. A young woman named Ella walked into his life, and in a moment of weakness, fueled by loneliness and wine, he crossed a line he had never thought he would. What began as a single night grew into a secret relationship, and within a few years, Ella gave birth to 2 children, a son, Desmond, and a daughter, Gabriella. Stacy noticed changes in her husband, late nights, secret calls, perfume lingering on his shirts, lipstick stains that whispered of betrayal. Her suspicions grew until she hired a private investigator. The truth shattered her. Her husband had another wife, another family. Yet, instead of exploding in rage, Stacy grew quiet. She chose to protect her peace, to nurture herself. If her greatest fear had already come to pass, she would no longer let it consume her. Still, the ache of childlessness remained. She tried everything: medications, endless hospital visits, IVF, diets, prayers, but nothing worked. After 10 years of hope and heartbreak, she made the decision to stop chasing what her body would not give. With courage and a broken kind of strength, she chose adoption. Together, she and Mr. Coker walked into Blessed Hands Orphanage. There, a tiny baby girl with wide, searching eyes captured their hearts. They named her Samantha, Sam for short. From the moment Stacy held her, something within her healed. She poured into Sam all the love she had carried for years, and Sam grew up never feeling less than a daughter. For the first time in a long time, joy returned to their home. Mr. Coker was grateful. His wife was smiling again, his family felt whole, and love bloomed where sorrow once lived. 16 years passed in peace. Then, on Sam's birthday, the unexpected happened. Her biological mother appeared, carrying with her the shadows of a past Stacy thought she had left behind. For Sam, turning 16 was a milestone. It meant a little more freedom, little more independence, and, most exciting of all, a very first smartphone. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Coker, had saved for months, wanting to give her a gift wrapped not just in paper, but in love and hope. To them, the phone was a tool, something to help with online classes, a way to stay connected with friends, a bridge to her growing world. But the digital world isn't just a bridge. It's also a window. And someone was already peering in. One bright afternoon, as Sam walked with her friend Marg, she casually called out her phone number so they could stay in touch. To her, it was an innocent gesture, something teenagers did without a second thought. But hidden inside a dark sedan nearby, a stranger was listening. What felt like nothing to Sam was, in reality, valuable data in the wrong hands. Every shared number, every tagged location, every smiling photo online, these are footprints. Small, almost invisible, yet powerful. Each one leaves a trail. And trails can be followed. For Sam, the trail began with that single phone number. Soon after, the calls started, strange, unsettling, and personal. Then came the voice of a woman who claimed to know her deepest secret, that Sam was adopted. The caller said her name was Sarah. She called herself Sam's birth mother. And with those words, Sam's world shifted. What had been a truth lovingly protected by her parents suddenly became a weapon in the hands of a stranger. Sarah knew how to play on emotions. She was skilled in the cruel art of manipulation, using tenderness one moment and guilt the next. She whispered promises, painting herself as the only person who truly understood Sam. And like many manipulators, she used just enough truth to make her lies feel real. At the orphanage, the director and board warned Stacy, Sarah had a dark past. She was not a grieving mother, but a dangerous criminal with a history of violence. Stacy's heart filled with dread, but Sam was already entangled, already replying to secret messages late at night. In the privacy of her new phone, Sarah had found a way in. This is how online manipulation works. A simple piece of personal information becomes the key to unlock trust. A false bond is created, quick and intoxicating, until the victim feels seen and understood in a way no one else offers. Sam, vulnerable and longing for answers, wanted to believe. Then came the day Sarah demanded a meeting. When Sam resisted, the mask of affection dropped. The danger became real. Sam was lured, kidnapped, and hidden away in an abandoned building. But Sarah made one fatal mistake. She left a digital trail. In her desperation, she tried logging into the orphanage's iCloud system, searching for files. Every attempt left a record. Coupled with evidence, the photo of her car, her frantic messages, the trail led straight to her. As the police closed in, Sam refused to give up. With courage beyond her years, she turned a handful of sand into her weapon, blinding Sarah long enough to cry for help. When the authorities arrived, Sarah was arrested, and Sam's nightmare came to an end. But freedom didn't erase the damage. The family had to face long-buried truths about Sarah, about the adoption, and even about Mr. Coker's past infidelity, shadows Stacy could no longer ignore. And yet, in the rubble of secrets and betrayal, something new began. Stacy chose honesty. She chose healing. She chose to rebuild, not just for herself, but for Sam. In the end, the lesson was clear. A smartphone isn't just a toy, it's a key to a vast world, one that carries risks as well as wonders. Every click, every share, every conversation leaves a mark. Not every story told online is true. Safety isn't just taught in classrooms, it's learned in moments like this when mistakes become lessons. Sam learned the hard way that love is what her mother gave her, but safety is something she would carry forward, guarding her digital life with the same care she guarded her heart. When the truth of Mr. Coker's secret family could no longer hide in the shadows, Stacy's world broke open again. For years she had swallowed her pain in silence, holding on to the hope that love, loyalty, and time would keep her marriage whole. But the betrayal was too deep, the wound too raw. After everything, after years of childlessness, after the battles with his family, after adopting Sam and finding some light again, Stacy made the hardest choice of her life. She asked for a divorce. Mr. Coker pleaded with her, his voice trembling with regret. He didn't want to leave. He couldn't imagine life without the woman who had shared his dreams, his tears, and his deepest scars. He remembered how she stood by him when the world mocked their childlessness, how she had poured every ounce of herself into the family they built. But Stacy's heart had reached its limit. The love she once carried had been bruised too many times. She could no longer pretend, no longer heal within the same walls that reminded her of betrayal. She wasn't ready to forgive, not yet, maybe not ever. For her, letting go wasn't just about leaving a marriage. It was about reclaiming her dignity, her peace, and her right to live without constant shadows. And so, with tears streaming down both their faces, the story of Mr. and Mrs. Coker came to an end, not because there was no love left, but because sometimes love alone is not enough to erase the scars of the past. Sam's journey reminds us that the line between our digital lives and our real lives is thinner than we think. What happens online has the power to touch our hearts, shape our choices, and even change our destinies. Her story teaches us important lessons. Guard your digital footprint. What you share online, your phone number, your location, even your feelings, can open doors to both trust and danger. Protect yourself. Be alert to manipulation. Sometimes strangers build quick, intense bonds that feel real, but they carry hidden motives. Slow down. Pay attention. Trust your inner voice. If something feels wrong, it usually is. Your instincts are a form of wisdom. Listen to them. Cherish real-world connections. The digital world is vast and tempting, but it can never replace the warmth of family, the loyalty of true friends, and the bonds we nurture face to face. Above all, be safe. Protect not only your heart but also your peace of mind. Because in the end, the connections that matter most are not in the glow of a screen, but in the love and presence of the people standing right beside you. What do you think of this story in the comment section?